Oh gosh, it started. Quick mic check. Aye, the show continues. People, deluded. I'm back again. Big up you lot watching it on the replay, and extra big up to you lot watching this live. Yes, we are live. Late night show business. Quick late night, super late night show business. Apparently, Odegaard got a hat trick of assists. Trent Alexander-Arnold seems like he's going to Real Madrid, and there's a couple of other bits and pieces. Now, I hope you've all had a great start to the week. Hope you've all had a great weekend, a great Monday, a great Tuesday, and a happy Wednesday in advance. Not really advanced because we're 48 minutes into it. Now, speaking for myself, I feel it's a period of reflection tonight, people. I've got pardon me, I got many of these notepads, but like one, I was planning my day for tomorrow. Like again, excuse my handwriting, but you can't see because the webcam is not the best, but you can see what I plan to set out for tomorrow. You can see like just basically everything I was doing, and I was just gonna before I go in the shower, brush my teeth, and prepare for tomorrow. I thought, let me see what's being said in the papers and the links and all these things. It's a dead. It's a dead international break anyway. So I thought, let me watch it, listen with it with you lot, man. Big up yourself, American Gooner. Yo, my guy, big up you lot on Twitch. Mad late, but we love it. Again, it is what it is, man. It's the beautiful thing about YouTube. DG, you know the Brazil game is on. It's a highlight business, man. I can't lie. I've been out the loop with football. I just see Odegaard got a hat trick. I'm here for it. Been out the loop, man. Apart from the Trent Alexander-Arnold business, but where actual football is concerned, like actual football, I ain't breed nothing. Especially because Gabriel's not there for Brazil. I've mentally checked out, but you know who's winning the 2026 World Cup, innit? That's us, man. So yeah, well, Brazil winning because it definitely will be a highlights thing, and we might watch. You know what? We might just do a Twitch stream tomorrow and watch that Brazil football. Are we winning? 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 Please, please. Swear down. The man are losing 3-1. Well, we're getting pressured. One shot, one on target, 39. Like, yeah, let me bring it on screen. Oh my days, bro. Should have looked at the chat, man. Man, I said 3-1. Oh my, that's thrown me off. Cunha scored though. Agenda. You're going in the thumbnail tomorrow in the watch along. Well, man said watch along in the live stream. One shot, one on target, 39% of the ball to 61%, 207 passes to 322 closest. They've had 2 corners. What's going on? What's qualified to what fifth? 10 points off them, man. There. It's a bit meaty still. What's the lineup? I know there's no Gabriel Murillo, Marquinhos. This is the right back everyone's been linked to, the 21-year-old. You look good on We Scout and that. And in the like, I was waged one time. I watched a 90-minute game of his club for no reason, but I don't know, man. You wear my favorite number and you're a right back. It's not Marcelo, is it? I mean, Benito. I'll keep his playing in Saudi League in that. Andre, Arsenal fans, including myself, we was talking about him for time. He ain't making no noise. He playing for Brazil. He ain't done nothing. Joe Linton. Oh, Joe Linton. I hear big up Newcastle and what Eddie Howe's doing, but for Brazil, centre mid. She's a bit dead, boys. I'm not gonna lie. Stalvio, my guy, play him, man. Play him. João Pedro, Hendrick, João Gomez. Oh, mate. Smash the like button. Well, just leave it. Alvarez scored in the 4th minute. And then Enzo in the 12th. We let Enzo of all people score as well for obvious reasons. It's not looking good, mate. It's not looking good at all, is it? It's not looking good at all, Brazil. Removing that before we go in, people. What are you lot saying, man? What have you lot been up to? What's the football been saying? It's looking like Brazil got peppered. Thank the Lord I'm not watching that. To be fair, we could have done a watch along for that. We probably should have. 4-goal thriller. Big up yourself, Oliver. Get me Gyökeres. Don't want no Sesko. I'm not going to lie. I'm at the point, bro. I'll be real. I hate that, Oliver. Just bring me a striker, man. Personally, I've gone past the point. Of course, Isaac would be the dream. And then between Gyökeres and Osimhen and this one and that one, we could all denominate. But I'm at the point. Just bring me the striker. And if it's Isaac, we talk about can you deliver the business. If it's Sesko, we wonder if you could do it. Just bring me the. If it's Gyökeres, can you do it? The same thing she was doing in England and Portugal. At this point, just bring me a striker and then we'll deal with all that stuff after, man. Obviously, my cries are going to fall on deaf ears until next season. So we'll have to see, man. But jarring. Beautiful assist from Enzo as well on the 3rd goal. It's a dark day, man, for Wakanda. It's a dark day. It's a dark day. But Brazil's gonna listen. I can't lie. If the footballing gods do the conspiracy theorist thing properly, listen, Messi deserved the World Cup. I'm a Messi fan. I'm one of them. You lot know me. But if I'm honest with you, football fans, and if you're up late night, you're fans of the game first, football second. Come on, man. The last World Cup, it was a bit of a smelly one. It was engineered for Messi to win it. If I'm honest with you, the Holland game looked a bit booky. I'm not gonna lie. So my point of saying that is to say this: we can't make Neymar do that. We can't make Neymar do that. The guy's old now. Like last one, come back from a mad injury. The documentary could be crazy. It could be crazy. Throw Gabriel Jesus in there, throw Martinelli in there, throw Gabriel Magalhaes, Bozo G, no more world champion. I'm trying to push Arsenal agendas. Come on, man. Brazil, we deserve this, man. And when we do win that World Cup in 2026, if you're not supporting Brazil now, please do not join us. Do not join us. If you didn't starve with us, you can't eat with us. Please do not join us. Don't join us. If you wasn't there when Germany dealt with us, I don't care what you lot watched when you was in 2000, when it was 2002. As I was in primary school when I fell in love with Brazil. I do not care. Please, we're doing this. We're doing this. And if not, back to it's coming home. And if that doesn't work, we do France. And you kind of get where I'm going with this, man. Brazil forever, mate. I mean, Neymar surrounded by scrubs, Messi surrounded by players who revere him. There's a difference. I do think the players revere Neymar, but like you said there, man, there's scrubs there, man. What's DG waffling about at this time of night? Cal kicked him out of bed, so he hopped on the stream. You're a waste, man, Marcel, man. I wish, man, I'm single as a Pringle. I wish, man. I wish I could get kicked out of bed. You know what there? At least I'm smelling perfume with that. Gally, if you're up late that, because obviously say what you want again, not to go over that tier list, Jeff. Where you get me? No one else ain't got there. You get me? The knowledgeable, nice ones. You know what we do on this platform. Lit stuff only. I'm sorry, Neymar's been shy. Allow that, man. Antonio, allow that, man. Come on, you're spoiling the vibe. It's too late. Come on, man. You know I'm a Messi fan. Just let me, and a Neymar fan. Just let me have this. Big up 4-0 Dan. Why the name? Bro, the Brazil coach should be so Ancelotti. Come on, man. Ancelotti, come on, just losing the next 2 games against Arsenal, win La Liga, leave that. There's enough time for you to become Brazil gaffer. Pep, if you want to do this, Pep, there's enough time. We get an elite gaffer, we're gone, man. Smash the likes, people. Smash the likes. Get me the real deal. I don't want no prospect. I hear that, and I hear that you're sick of waiting, my guy. I really do. But same way, if we don't get Isaac, and we don't get Gyökeres potentially, and you don't get Osimhen, and you don't even get Ollie Watkins. I say all them names because they're the guys smash the like button that are on like deliver now, do the job now kind of thing. If you don't get them, then whether we want it or not, you're gonna have to put up with a Sesko. Now, for what it's worth, I'm conflicted on Sesko because on one hand, I said what I said there, and you're smart enough to know where I'm going with that. On the other hand, I'm with you, man. I know we can't spend 100-odd million and get world-class, top-class players in every position, but where up front's concerned, man. I mean, we spent listen, big up Declan Rice. You don't know I'm a big fan of Declan Rice, but Arsenal Football Club spent 105 million on Declan Rice. For me, maybe it's an old school belief, but if you're going to overpay and break your club record, it should be wingers and strikers and wavy players. Don't get twisted. I'm happy with Rice. We got money like that. We can spend that on whatnot. It's like buying a Dyson Hoover. We bought a wavy one for absolutely no reason. How are you bringing all them girls on your channel but single? What does that mean, Marcel? Listen, and this is one thing that annoys me, right? You know, when it comes to content, as I always say, regardless of your color, your religion, your sex, what you identify with, able-bodied. Listen, I don't know if that's the right thing to say, but allow me, cancel dons, able-bodied, disability. I've brought them all out on my platform. You know, football is diverse. It's about people who are as positive as Larry, people who are as negative, people that are balanced, people that are more bantery. I'm trying my best to get a mix. And I think that's just reflected in, you know, anyone, man, woman, whatever, that's been on my platform, Marcel, it's because, you know, they want to be here. They know it's a comfortable place and they want to share their love of Arsenal, man. So it's just a case of just reaching out, or people reaching out and make it happen, mate. You know how it goes, man. Thoughts on the Leicester City wonder kid? You talking about the 15-year-old or the guy we've been linked with today? If you're talking about the 15-year-old that's been on the bench for their 21s, cold, can see why City want him. DG they forget you got Gallon Essex, Leeds and Leicester. You're going mad. Essex is a no Leeds. Shout out Chapeltown and that, allegedly. Yeah, Leicester. We love the Midlands. We definitely love outside of London. We love it all. We love everyone and everywhere. DG, Odegaard looked good. He was carrying the ball, dribbling past people, stuff he doesn't do at Arsenal no more. Is it because the manager's tactics, or is it because he's played a 76th ranked team? Probably a bit of everything, man. Probably a bit that we played a rugby team. Obviously, the international managers' tactics and what Arteta demands in his system of Odegaard individually, much less his role in the collective, it naturally plays a part. Maybe psychologically as well, man. Maybe, obviously, I don't know. I would, to answer what I'm about to say, I'd love to speak to someone that I don't know, like Real Madrid, like people that have played in, like play for France or like the big nations in Real Madrid. I'd love to know the kind of pressure in that regards. But so you could argue, you could discount what I'm about to say, but surely, for argument's sake, like there's no amount of pressure, regardless of who you're playing, when you're playing you're playing for your country. Like way before you was an Arsenal player and Real Madrid player and all of that, you was a young man from Norway. And not only that, respectfully to Norway, they got a good bunch of young players coming through. But like, even we just went over Brazil. Brazil's nothing to scream and shout about at this moment in time. But when you think of Brazil, there's bare sick players. Norway, they ain't really got that. Even Argentina, they haven't really got that. So maybe, there's even more pressure in that regards as well. Maybe it's just one of those things. Like, I won't go as far as to say his form has changed and he's stopped the rot and he's done this and he's done that. But maybe it's just a case of you've been so bad for so long, you was due a good game kind of thing, if I'm honest with you. Now, probably the fact that you're playing a lower rank, a lower ranked nation, respectfully. But at the end of the day, you can caveat that and say you can only play what's in front of you. So the main thing is that he continues any sort of form, if that was a conversation, to Arsenal Football Club, starting against Fulham. And then Brentford, I believe on the Saturday, the week of the Fulham game, we'll be playing Brent. We got 2 games that week. I'm sure it's Brentford, or might even be Everton away. I could be wrong. Either way, we got a game on the weekend. And it's the big one against Real Madrid, man. No DG, the player that we linked with today. Oh, that Don, he's cold still. I like him. 20 years of age, one of them kind of technical players. Could see him developing and growing and pause. And I don't know his potential and his ceiling. If you become a superstar, for argument's sake, you're gonna play week in, week out, essentially. But I like the profile, man. I like the profile. I like the age profile. I like the technical ability. Scored against Spurs as well. Brownie points there. And you do think, obviously, Leicester, everyone's got money. Like, again, I'm only 29, but beyond the obvious, when a team used to get relegated, you used to think that, like, their players are going to get flushed out. Parachute payments have come in and changed that. They can't afford the wages. That's kind of changed. You look at the fees that are being spent in the Championship. You look at the squad, even in League One, like Birmingham and all them things there. So I don't know how far that goes, but generally you'd imagine he's got ambitions to play at the highest level. Leicester go down, he might be available for a discount. I won't play again. I'm a hypocrite because when Oliver saying he wants players right now, I'm with him with that. I want that at the moment as well. But one, I feel we've got to make them. 2, you have to make smart additions and yeah, man. I just think he's decent. I like him a lot, man. I really like his technical level. Good in the pockets, fairly adaptable, helps our squad. If Arteta is going to do the project player kind of thing, people, away from obviously signing what we need right now. If a couple of the players have to be stars of tomorrow, project players, or we have to work with players that have quote unquote potential, or there's something around them, I'd rather us do that than who's not old but not young but not exactly old. I'd rather us do that than Kai Havertz for 65 million, and the Fabio Vieira thing didn't really work out either, man. So why not? Smash the likes on the way, help to push the algorithm. Tell them again. Well, go on, my guy. Hope you're doing well and safe, man. Watching West says. I think Odegaard just performed better with winning runners. Martinelli hugs the touchline, and Marino and Wanyeri prefer ball to feet in the front line. I hear you, bro, and you're not wrong. And there's logic to what you're saying, because I don't feel it's just one single reason as to why Odegaard ain't doing what he's doing. But if I be devil's advocate, Odegaard's been playing in this role for the best part of a year or 2 now. When he was in better form, but we all know the season he was bagging for fun. It weren't quite that last year. We wasn't necessarily saying that. I think you're right for what it's worth. But then when you look at it, how far does it go? Because even myself, I think we get caught into this trap, and these things are prevalent. I do think we get into a scary scenario, like when we start to overblame the fact that there's no Saka. Obviously, Saka, White, and Odegaard himself, that hasn't been as consistent as prior years. When we start talking about all the other things players need, I do think it's scary territory, but I don't think it's wrong. I don't make no excuses for Odegaard, because at the end of the day, you're playing week in, week out. You've been past fit, you're playing, but there's got to be something. Like, even the way you're striking the ball, Odegaard's never slashed the ball, but when you look at some of his highlights, bro, the way he's shooting back then and now, you must be carrying something. Like, I'm trying to rationalize it. And also, you just need to put your finger out, Odegaard, man. You know, you're not a bad player. You're in a horrible bit of form. And obviously, I can cut no excuses for you in that regards, because at the end of the day, Lewis Skelly and Wanyeri are playing better than, listen, just about past maths. So I'm exaggerating with the percentage, but 99.9% of the squad, that's not me trying to say it's negative and whatnot. But nobody's pulled their weight full stop this season. Them two players have. So, Odegaard, you're the captain, bro. Too many times, again with the injuries, I've gone into games thinking, and it's actually testament to Wanyeri and Lewis Skelly in particular, but if we isolate them individually and how I feel as a fan and I look at the greater squad, it's damning. You're the captain, bro. I know players are injured, all these things, we're feeling sorry for ourselves, but them two young players are still turning up. It's different roles, of course. Gabriel, Timber, even when David Raya makes a mistake, let alone how he's been performing this season, it's kind of the same old names. And yeah, a couple games across the season, you might have to pull a couple of players through the mud, but we need a bit more Odegaard. Influence at the very minimum. The Chelsea game was a step in the right direction, but again, the bar, unfortunately, is in hell. Love Odegaard as a footballer. I do think there's, and I'm going away from Odegaard. I don't necessarily mean this point going like just talking about the topic of Odegaard, but for me, I think there's attacks on all of our attacking players. The ones we don't rate, let alone Saka, Wanyeri, this one, that one, because of how Arteta sets up. Now, I'm not saying that in a negative way, but life's a trade-off, bro. Like, we've had to, I do think there is some, you look at how we played in 2022, 23, and let's say last season, forget this year. We was great defensively, more defensive-centric, more dark hearts, more get the goal, defend, or we'll let you have the ball. You don't want to be the ones that look good. You do your thing. If we get one chance, we're gone. We defend, not even defend for our lives. It's an exaggeration thing, but solid. The year before, whether it was because Zinchenko was a breath of fresh air, Gabriel Jesus those first 6 months, Xhaka, Martinelli, Partey, whatever, Arteta doing stuff, whatever have you, was great in an attacking sense. That's not the case this year. Now, don't get it twisted. You look at every year that, including this year, we haven't won the league. So there's 3 different excuses and there's 3 different bits of explaining and whatnot. But I do think there was an element of, in the 2022-23 season, us as fans, including myself, mainly because of Martinelli and, Martinelli in particular, really, like Martinelli, Xhaka, that whole year, man, them and they were great that year. But I do, mainly because of the attacking stuff. But we got to remember, there was a lot of those games. If we started well, packed teams in the first 20 minutes, the rest of the game is knife edge. Or what typically was the case, we'll go out there, mash up the team in the 45 minutes, like Leeds away. That scars me in second half. It's knife edge kind of thing. We got better defensively last year. And I do think that first year, I think it scarred Arteta a bit. So I do think there needed to be a trade-off. And with us being better defensively, whether it's the individual players or the partnerships across the field or the dark hearts and all of that, that needed to happen. But it feels like we've gone the other way a bit. And you don't know me, I'm kind of a football nerd. I might not have the editing skills to show it, but I'm just a football nerd who ain't on the positive toxic stuff, innit? Like, I like all learning about positional play and we're standing here, so they move there. All of that stuff makes sense. And Arteta's whole rhetoric with, when we lose the ball, we want to win it as quickly and as high up the field. Probably that's why Rice, beyond any other talking points, is playing as an 8. But no matter how I dress that kind of up, and I also like the fact that for all my criticism of Arteta, you're a madman. You will think, if we're playing on a Saturday, I know from 2 weeks before, you're planning for every eventuality. You stifle the kind of team to the point where teams, 9 times out of 10, it's a low block thing. Now, that's an issue in itself for Arsenal and breaking that down. But they're like, all right, we know Arsenal can't break us down per se. I know we score goals. I cry about Arsenal's need for a striker and a winger. I know we score goals. I cried about a striker the year before that. I know about the goals and the set pieces and all the other kind of statistic things, people. But they know we struggle. We struggle with that. And I do think no matter how much Arteta, and I like the fact that, or any manager thinks about the opposition, at some point you got to put the ball in the opponent's net. That's the only way to win games. As complicated as football is, life's a contradiction and football's a reflection of life. As much as football's a complicated game, it's also very simple. There's 22 players out there. Are you going to keep the ball out the back of your net? Are you going to put it in your opponents? And 9 times out of 10, we're not able to do this. There's so many things we need to do beyond the obvious. We know we need better players. We know we need squad depth. But I think there's many things internally we need to address. We need to go evolve in all systems. We need to, for me, play a bit faster, have different ways of breaking down low blocks, having plan Bs and things of that ilk. Unpopular opinion, I think the whole team needs to get back to those high standards defensively. Yeah, the statistics are there, and it's a contradiction because if you ask me, probably for my top 5 players of the season at Arsenal, pardon me, they're all going to be defensive unit players, if I'm brutally honest. So clearly the defense is performing, but come on, Arsenal fans, with your eyes, as a team, we're not making those technical fouls with the same intensity. We're not dropping that much quicker. Last year, I was seeing like everything, man, like low blocks, deep blocks, tactical fouls. I'd rather die than let you score. There'll be times where I'm exaggerating, but Saka might be the right winger. He sees his left backs out of position. There's a moment in the game he drops, he sweeps up, and he shouts at him after. I don't really see that this year. I think there's too many. Every goal's avoidable, every goal's presentable, but I think there's too many brain farts, too many like series of people not following runners, or like where we could have put the fire out a lot more. So yeah, man, I think we've take your pick. Like, I think we've regressed. People can tell me that's harsh. Life is harsh, innit? And I'm only saying it from a place of love, people, but life is harsh. You can tell me it's harsh to say we've regressed. At the very minimum, you have to concede that is stagnation at this football club. Let's be brutally honest. It's the same old individuals shining. It's the same old people we're relying on to a degree. And again, it's far too late. I'm not going to bore you lot and moan and all of that, but we all know the same old issues, no matter how you dress it up. James, appreciate you for the super chat. Man said, DG, run the intro. James, it's late. Why not, man? You know what? You super chatted. I appreciate that, people. I'm still here, of course, but you know, super chat is a super chat. I hope it's this one. People are gonna think that I actually finished the show or something, but yeah, man, we're back. So yeah, man, let's carry on. Let me scroll up a bit. It's how I've been feeling. I can't lie. I hear it, man. I hear it. 2026 World Cup is in America. I'm sure it's in America, Canada, and Mexico. It's a cross-field thing. As American Gooner is saying here, effing odds, man. True. Messi played like a monster. He did fully deserve it. I'm not, listen, please don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying Messi did not deserve to win the World Cup. It did feel like at the same time he's doing all he can. But people that are not connected to Messi and necessarily Argentina, they're engineering it for you to win it. It just felt a bit fixed in that. Tyrese and CS, appreciate you. Brazil needs to pick up players from their local league. Vinny and these clowns think they're too good and not shot for their country. Harsh. Come on, James, man. DG, would you rather Verts or Cherky? Big up Cherky, but at this moment in time, Verts, man, come on. Like, Cherky, I like what you can become. I like what you are now. Verts, there's obviously, you need to go up the levels and gears and that, but you immediately improve us. Immediately. Verts has the more engine and aggression for the Premier League more than Cherky. Yeah, and he's got good technical level, Cherky. I mean, sorry, Cherky therefore does, but Verts, but Cherky's more like, if we just threw them a football, he impresses me a lot more clearly. But all in all, I think Verts. I did not say Messi didn't deserve it. I'm just saying Messi deserved it on one hand. It felt like there were favorable decisions for Messi's team, Argentina, versus actually Lionel Messi. He done his thing. Spare fought for Mbappe though, like, because he had a man of the match display and he still didn't win it. What a game that was. Super late show. Cherky has some concerns surrounding his attitude. There's no way Leon would be willing to sell such a baller for like 30-40 million without that much pressure. It's same like the Champions League. They're trying to set it so Barcelona faces Real Madrid in the final. This football thing is corrupted like everything, man, essentially. Regressing is understating. We have one of the worst attacks. Forest have a better attack with a Kivy up front. Hey, oh, mate, come on, man. We don't do that. We big up everyone wherever they're from. Shout out Chris Wood. But we're not one of the most attractive teams. Still, stylistically, well, beautifulness is subjective, but let's just talk final third. We're not, man. There's just so much that needs to be done, man. We would never sign Cherky. He's got a bit of an attitude problem, apparently. I hear it, but for me, like, where is the... I'm not saying that's wrong, but it's very easy to throw around someone's got an attitude problem. Like, for the people that have put that out there, like they gotta rise up something. Fair enough, although any team that wins it get decisions. Yeah. Mbappe, one of the best individual performances in the World Cup final. He dragged France from the dead. Forest don't have a better attack. They have one of the lowest chance creations in the Premier League. The front line has been well and truly exposed without Saka. I mean, if it's been exposed, then I think people have intentionally pulled the wool over their eyes. In an ideal world, what winger would you want to replace Martinelli? In an ideal world, ideal worlds for this is Junior, really. Like you said, ideal. In Arteta, we got to keep believing in Arteta will get us that precarious Champions League trophy. Arteta is an Arsenal legend and a god in the game. 10 years player and manager. It's too late, man. It would not surprise me after this horrific Saka injury. He plays 38 games next season. Les said that Saka will be back with a bang, man. Saka will be back with a bang. You can't keep a good man down. 1, Gabriel. 2, Timber. Partey. 3, Raya. 4, Saka. 5. My players of the season in no order, but 5. Gabriel Magalhaes, clearly. Jirin Timber. Wanyeri. Lewis Skelly. Youngster Tax. Or you could include them as just a package, the 2 young Gs. I'd probably give it Raya, you know. Or unpopular opinion, I'd still probably have Saka, man, because he was on course for a serious season. He's still up there for chance creation and all that crap, which is great for Saka. He's damning on our football club. It's a shame what Saka could have done this season, man, regardless of if we would have won the league or not. Thoughts on Zubamendi, Madrid links. I think we caught life will force Berta to get a proper left centre mid and AM. We'll definitely save that for the show in the morning or in the late afternoon, but this is why you can't get too excited with Zubamendi anyways, because, or any footballers, we always say on this platform, and you say it as well, because you hear all the time, like, until they're holding shirts, anything can happen. But again, until they're holding shirts, it could be lies. It could lie. Anyone can just put out anything, but that's how I feel about footballers anyways. And Zubamendi, 1 minute, like we keep saying this, 1 minute, it's Liverpool, you don't want to go Liverpool or Arsenal or Bayern Munich or this club, then you want to do it, then it's like you're shooing to go. Now you want to go Real Madrid, which no one can begrudge you if you do want to go Real Madrid, you know. But yeah. Guendouzi had an attitude problem. I just think Guendouzi didn't humble himself when Arteta needed you. We need to put some respect on Saka. That man was more important than I could have ever imagined. World class. And it's a shame, man, because listen, it's easy for me to do the ifs and buts thing, but it would have been nice if we just had the depth to rest him at potential periods. It weren't to be, man. Now, if we look at some of the headlines and whatnot, keep your thoughts coming, people. Real Madrid working to close Trent Alexander-Arnold deal, said David Ornstein. Real Madrid are working to close a deal to sign Liverpool right back Trent Alexander-Arnold as a free agent in the summer. Some free agent that would be, you know, to get Mbappe, him, Rudiger, Alaba, maybe even 1-2 others. Pardon me, maybe even monitoring Saliba's situation closely, because there was even rumors there's come out Twitter rumors today from the ITKs and Indian journalists that he made up his decision to leave in 2023. Now it's 2025 and hasn't been signed on the dotted line, but yeah, it's crazy, man. The Liga side have been monitoring Trent Alexander-Arnold for 2 years, which correlates with what I just said, and doing everything in their power since January to convince him to join at the end of the season. They will have to inform their Premier League counterparts if and when a deal is signed, which has not happened yet. Boy, I remember the pictures of Jude Bellingham and Trent Alexander-Arnold on holiday together. Maybe in hindsight, Bellingham was being the ITK and getting him to join. Trent Alexander-Arnold's Liverpool contract is scheduled to expire in June, and you can obviously speak to clubs, people. We all know Mohamed Salah and Van Dijk's deals are running now. We'll have to see what's going on in that regards. It's crazy, man. And of course, naturally, not necessarily isolated to Liverpool, but isolated to Liverpool because it's their player. Fans that couldn't speak highly of him are now on Twitter. He's a rat, he's a traitor, he's this, he's that. What do you lot make of Michael Owen's point, people? He's already a club legend. He has won everything with the club now. He's got to do what's best for him. You only get one career. It's easy for a fan to say stay loyal, don't chase money. I can tell you it's not about the money. Agreed. And again, it's not even to do with the fans. It's more the club. Trent's at his peak powers. He's won everything come through the academy. It's not like he's snaking it and going to Everton, who's rivals, or more so Manchester United. It's Real Madrid. It's Real Madrid with English players. It's Real Madrid with what's going on now. Yeah, he's won everything at Liverpool, and he know that he's going to win the Premier League, no doubt win things again. But one career short. It's a short career. As a little boy, you want to play at international level for your country. You want to win stuff. You know, for him coming through the academy, and I think being a Liverpool fan, obviously, I don't know for the emulating Gerrard thing, but it's an emulating Gerrard thing. He wears Preds, you're winning all sorts. And then you look at Real Madrid, biggest club, like the pinnacle of club football. Now, yeah, you could say, yeah, he's leaving on a free and all of this, but what does he owe the club? Why does he owe the club a transfer fee? And I'm not saying you're wrong, because I'd be livid if Saliba left for free, but that's not Trent's fault. That's not Trent's fault. He didn't run down his deal. He didn't give him the previous contract. It's not his fault. And even though he's in his peak and whatnot, what if he gets an injury and he's never the same, and his contract's and he signs a new deal? God forbid he gets an injury and it plagues him for the next 2-3 years, or gets to a point where you got a year left on your deal. You love Liverpool. You want to stay there. They don't think it's financially prudent. They don't think it's the decision. It's like any other 9 to 5. It's like a 9 to 5. Obviously, Premier League's not the same. It's be useful until you're useless, essentially. If he's 30 years of age and he wants to commit to Liverpool and he wants a 2-3 year deal, and they're saying it doesn't make sense, we want to give you less, what are you going to get? A testimonial, a thanks for your service. Now, that's not a Liverpool or Trent thing. Undoubtedly, that is just the belly of the beast. You've got one career. You've got one career, and if you want to play for Real Madrid, have no regrets. It's not Trent's fault they let the contract run out, but I get why fans are mad. This one means more and ish like that. I mean, if I was a Liverpool fan, I would maintain everything I've just personally said. But at the same time, I'd also think to myself, you know, people weren't talking about us winning the league, and maybe Liverpool fans internally at the start of the season weren't talking about us winning the league. It's the second title in my lifetime for Liverpool to win. So that's 2 in 30 years in April the 13th. Need my presence in. He's reigned on it still. He's reigned on it. Because, yeah, you know, you're going to get a send-off, and it hasn't been officially confirmed. And I don't know when it would, and I don't know what the best time would be. Like, because surely if you're going to make a move like this, you could argue with Liverpool running away with the league, barring some crazy collapse. Obviously, they're out of the Champions League. They lost the League Cup. They're out of the FA Cup to Plymouth. The quicker you say it, the more everyone can accept it, and they can scream, they can shout, they can shake it all about. And then at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's why we need new contracts to Saka, Saliba, and Gabriel as soon as possible. Liverpool fans are saying thanks for all you've done at Liverpool. Enjoy your club, as they should. Most Liverpool fans are saying that. It's just the emotional ones that I think most football fans of the game, you see, at the end of the day, you never want your key players to leave. But business is business. You got one career, and it's like, honestly, it would feel like it's not the same. But like if I was a United fan with Cristiano Ronaldo, it's very different. But won the Prem, won the chance, Ballon d'Or, you accomplished what you needed to accomplish. There's no air of doubt kind of thing in that regard. Like Trent's won it all. Like there's no air of doubt. It's like, as an Arsenal fan, and not to make it all about us, if this was us this year with Saliba, or considering if we assume everything that's happened now was happening like with Trent, with them, if this was Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Saka, I'd be vexed. But at the end of the day, you got yourselves here, like, and it would feel very different from Cristiano Ronaldo or Trent, because there's unfinished business, or there's no business that's been attended to in terms of silverware. Imagine MLS leaving on the free after winning everything with us. That's what it's like with Trent leaving, surely. It is what it is, but you got to separate that, man. So unfortunately, there's an element of looking at football as a business or as a job. And yes, I love Arsenal Football Club. I'm very emotionally attached, but I think for football fans, you need to detach a bit and live in reality. Because, yeah, Liverpool love him, but fundamentally, they don't love him because he's a nice lad. They love him, and I'm talking about the club. It's come through the academy because he's a good footballer. I don't know why this is here, but did you not see Chelsea will have to pay 5 million to Man United people if they don't want to sign Jadon Sancho permanently? Get out clause. I mean, imagine they pay 5 million and they're gonna have to deal with the Sterling situation. Long may it continue. Tyrone Mings has been elected to take a role on the FA board of directors for Euro 2028, right? Already 32, already patterning your career. Shout out yourself, Mings, man. Bournemouth chief has pledged to match Areola's coaching ambitions. I wonder, with that headline, if you don't think that's something that could be relevant to Mikel Arteta. I'm not going to waste time on this, but as I said, I was just going to read these articles myself. That absolute wank stain of a person, Joey Barton. You can see it on screen. The less said about this ignorant prick, the better. We spoke about Martin Odegaard earlier, the 26-year-old and Arsenal captain, as well as his country, got a hat-trick of assists for Norway, people. And the man himself said, I mean, ain't no one care about XG and that, but Odegaard created 8 chances for teammates with an expected assist. Football's gone mad. A value of 1.08, the best statistics of any player in a single game in these qualifiers. Let's go. Let's go. We have a lot of faith in what we're doing. We have developed a very good game plan, said Odegaard. We have become much better offensively. We can score goals and create things in a lot of different ways. Then I also came into my own more. Fair enough. Fair enough, Odegaard. Fair enough. Long may it continue. Arsenal are the English club most interested in Bilal Al-Khanous, 20 years of age, Leicester. According to a source close to the player, Al-Khanous will be forced to find a new club if Leicester are relegated from the Premier League. Forced or naturally wants to, because he wants to play at the top level, respectfully to Leicester. Apparently, our upcoming Premier League home game against Bournemouth in May has been chosen for live TV coverage in the UK and has been rearranged. It will now take place, people, on the 3rd of May, which is a Saturday at 5:30. It was originally for the Sunday on the 4th. To be honest, this Garcia guy of Espanyol is being linked with a lot of people. Allegedly, Atletico Madrid want to secure Garcia for the near future. Simeone sees him as the perfect successor to Oblak. And with his 25 million euro release clause, Athletic is exploring ways to lower the cost. One of the options being considered, sign him this summer, but loan him back to Espanyol for a season. Why does everybody that has a keeper want to sign him? And yeah, you could be the number 2 and all of this, but he's spoken about as being a Spanish number 1. In the last 2 years or so, he's really just started establishing himself playing professional, proper first team level football for Espanyol. If you do move to Atletico, who have Oblak, Arsenal who have Raya, Barcelona got a couple of keepers, even Szczesny's doing it. I'm not saying they're better than him or whatever. Are you going to be the number 1 or are them not going to change? If you aren't going to be the number 1 and you're going to be the number 2, how long does a 23-year-old, I believe, want to be the number 2 before he starts whatever? Now, you never know with Mikel Arteta's track record with goalies, and if Garcia's got in a world where Garcia's got the ability to be twice the keeper of Raya, then you never know in this life, people. But yeah, it's a bit peculiar because we've got Raya, obviously. He's even been linked with Real Madrid, who obviously have Courtois, who is a bit older. Atletico Madrid got Oblak, who is a bit older. Barcelona who have been linked, have got ter Stegen, have got Szczesny for a minute. Who knows, man? If he's the guy, get it done. But some of you will rightly say, oh, you know what, 20 million on the goalie, I don't know. Declan Rice spoke on Max Dolman, who I'll be surprised, especially when you was in Dubai, if Odegaard wasn't your mentor. Beyond the obvious of you being a young player, him being a captain, just the areas you take up on the pitch, I'd imagine you're being groomed into that kind of Odegaard role, if I'm honest. I've had so many texts about Max recently where people have watched him and they're saying they've just watched him and wow, he's a talent and he's one to watch out for. I think at 15, there's such a long way to go. You can be the best 15-year-old in the country, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be that at 18. Amen. Because Declan Rice got released by Chelsea, not to get Chelsea. I'm sure there was some people in his bracket that were rated as better than him. And I'm sure there's been a lot who've made it, but where are they now? So you need to be hungry, keep working and keep pushing. I speak to Max a lot. He has got a very good family around him. He's unreal. Big him up in that regards. We've gone over the Trent stuff. Another striker being watched by Bayern is Moise Kean. Apparently there's doubts over his consistency. Moise Kean, who's been linked with Arsenal. Consistency is a bit harsh based on this season. He's putting them in for fun at Fiorentina, but I hear it. Jonathan David. Apparently Bayern Munich don't want him again, people. Once mentioned as a candidate, is no longer being considered by Bayern, even though he'll be a free agent in the summer. It was decided that his profile was not a fit, people. So there's that. And that puts to bed all of that other stuff that we was going with, people. But with that being said, I can't lie. I want to have something to eat. I want to brush my teeth and I want to shower. As I said, it's a quick late night show. I'll see you lot tomorrow, man. Big up you lot. Appreciative to you lot tuned in. Make sure you're hitting like buttons and the rest of it.